I absolutely love and adore Dahi Vadas. This crispy lentil is covered in a creamy yogurt and it's flavored with spices, herbs, pomegranate seeds and so much more. Hi everyone, I'm Ahmed. Welcome back to Cravings with Adventures. Today I'm going to make this delicious recipe. It's great served as a snack or even as a side with lunch and dinner. Now typically people think that Dahi Vadas are very difficult to make, but I'm here to show you that it's really easy. Before I go any further with this recipe, make sure that you subscribe to my channel. I upload a ton of videos every week, so make sure that you're subscribed and ring the bell. That's YouTube's new bell icon. That will notify you every time I upload a new video. Now let's get started. I'm going to be using Urad Dhal in this recipe. This is a split lentil that has been husked. It's also known as Vigna, mungo, black gram, urad bean, minapa, pappu, mungo bean or black matpe. I'm going to start with 1 cup of this and I'm going to soak it in water overnight. Many people like to soak this just for a few hours, but I prefer to let it soak for a minimum of 8 hours. As you can see, overnight this has almost doubled in size. Make sure to rinse this under running water for a few minutes and allow the water to drain. It's now time to grind this. I'm going to reserve a teaspoon of this for later, and I'm going to get these soaked lentils into my food processor. I'm adding a 1/4 cup of water just to get this going and start to process it. This is looking really good, but I'm still seeing some urad dal that is still whole, so I'm going to continue to process this. Now here's a tip. When grinding your dal, even if you're soaking a much bigger batch, always only grind 1 cup at a time. I find it much quicker and easier to work with a smaller quantity. I'm now going to transfer this paste into a bowl and I'm going to cover this with some cling film. This needs to ferment for 4 to 8 hours. If I'm not in a rush, I just stick it in my fridge overnight. It's time to get some flavor into this batter. I'm going to start with just whipping the batter to get some air into it. I'm also going to add 3/4 of a teaspoon of black salt. Black salt has a distinct aroma and it's used in savory snacks and chaats, but you can also just as easily substitute regular fine grain salt. I'm also going to add a 1/4 teaspoon of fresh cracked pepper, a 1/4 teaspoon of mustard seeds, a 1/4 teaspoon of Chat Masala, and a 1/4 teaspoon of red chili powder. I'm also adding a pinch of Asafoetida or Hing. This helps with digestion. Next, I'm going to add a tablespoon of finely diced fresh ginger, 1 tablespoon of minced green chili, and 1 tablespoon of chopped coriander. Mix everything well together. Finally, I'm going to add 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder. This is totally optional. You can omit this ingredient if you prefer not to use baking powder. Make sure to mix this in well. I'm also going to prepare the dahi or yogurt. I have roughly 2 cups of yogurt here and I'm going to beat it until it's smooth. I'm going to flavor this very mildly with a 1/2 teaspoon of black salt, some fresh cracked pepper, and a 1/4 teaspoon of Chat Masala. I'm also going to add a 1/2 teaspoon of chopped coriander. Finally, this needs to be balanced with a 1/2 teaspoon of sugar. Taste for seasoning and adjust to your taste. It's time to get these vadas fried. I have some oil that is getting nice and hot, and to ensure I get a nice fluffy vada, I'm going to add a tablespoon of this hot oil into my batter and I'm going to mix it in. Using an ice cream scoop, I'm going to add dollops of this batter straight into the hot oil. The vada should crisp up on the outside and also cook on the inside. If your oil gets too hot, turn it down so you can control the temperature. Once golden brown, I like to remove these on some kitchen towel first to absorb all of the excess oil.
ਲਿਆ ਬੇਪਰਵਾਹ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਦਿਲ ਲਾ ਲਿਆ ਬੇਪਰਵਾਹ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਉਸ ਦੀਨ ਤੁਨੀ ਬੇਸ਼ਾਦ ਨਾਲ ਦਿਲ ਲਾ ਲਿਆ ਬੇਪਰਵਾਹ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਮੈਂ ਮਿੰਨਤਾਂ ਕਰਾਂ ਮਲਾ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਦਿਲ ਲਾ ਲਿਆ ਬੇਪਰਵਾਹ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਉਸ ਦੀਨ ਤੁਨੀ ਬੇਸ਼ਾਦ ਨਾਲ ਦਿਲ ਲਾ ਲਿਆ ਬੇਪਰਵਾਹ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਦਿਲ ਲਾ ਲਿਆ ਬੇਪਰਵਾਹ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਦਿਲ ਲਾ ਲਿਆ ਬੇਪਰਵਾਹ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਉਸ ਦੀਨ ਤੁਨੀ ਬੇਸ਼ਾਦ ਨਾਲ ਦਿਲ ਲਾ ਲਿਆ ਬੇਪਰਵਾਹ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਮੈਂ ਮਿੰਨਤਾਂ ਕਰਾਂ ਮਲਾ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਦਿਲ ਲਾ ਲਿਆ
Typically, when making dahi vadas, the vadas are dropped straight into the water. I prefer to get rid of the excess oil first. I'm also going to prepare a quick tadka. This is a tempering and it will act as a garnish. I have some oil heating up in my pan and I'm going to saute 1 teaspoon of soaked urad dal that I reserved earlier. These are going to turn nice and golden brown in the hot oil. Next, I'm going to add a half teaspoon of mustard seeds and roughly 10 curry leaves. Remove these and keep them aside. Now that I've drained out quite a bit of the excess oil, I'm going to dunk these in a bowl of water. Give them a light squeeze to flatten and add these to your serving bowl in one layer. Here's the yogurt I prepared earlier. Some people literally like to drown these vadas in yogurt. I prefer to spoon the yogurt over each one so you can see the vadas uncovered just a little bit and you can see the shape of these vadas under the veil of yogurt. Now this is the fun part, the garnish. I'm going to flip this around so you can see this better. I'm going to sprinkle over a 1/4 teaspoon of Chat Masala, a 1/4 teaspoon of red chilli powder, some fresh pepper, 1 tablespoon of chopped coriander, and one of my favorite things to add is fresh pomegranate, so I'm going to add these beautiful jewel seeds. I'm also going to add small drops of tamarind chutney, this is roughly about a teaspoon. And finally, I'm going to sprinkle over the tadka that I prepared earlier, and that is the sauteed urad dal, mustard seeds and curry leaves. Every bite is a taste of heaven. You get a little bit of sweet, salty, spicy all at the same time. The burst of sweetness from the pomegranate is a perfect contrast to the chaat masala and the chili, and it's made luxurious with the creaminess of yogurt. Dahi vadas can be eaten as a snack, served as an appetizer, and also as a side. Enjoy! Thank you so much for joining me in Cravings Food Adventures. I hope you enjoyed this delicious recipe for this cold and sweet, salty, sour dahi vada. Make sure that you subscribe to my channel, guys. Do share my channel and my videos with your family and friends. I hope to hit 50,000 subscribers this year, so I hope that you can help me get there. And ring the bell, that's YouTube's new bell icon that will notify you every time I upload a new video. And the fun doesn't stop there. Follow me on all of my social channels. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, Twitter, and even Snapchat. Till I see you next time, take care and happy eating. Bye.